Let's come to this now. Suspended Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane has released audio recordings of an extortion attempt, and this is despite a warning coming from Parliament's Ethics Committee not to make the audio public. Now, Mkhwebane claims late MP, that's Tina Joemat-Petterson, tried to solicit a bribe from her husband, David Skosana. Well, she also allegedly wanted 600,000 rand to make the impeachment inquiry disappear. OUTA Stefanie Fick joins us now to discuss if the claims are bringing the Office of the Public Protector into disrepute. Joining me this morning, of course, for this conversation. Stefanie, always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for your time. Startling allegations made, audio clips played, but obviously this, some can say, not a good light on the Office of the Public Protector. But what is your view in terms of the reputational damage this can cause to the office?
I think that the suspended Public Protector has done enormous damage to the office even before this interview. Now, let's just look at the allegations. Now, I think everybody will agree that the allegations are quite serious. What is worrying is, you're hearing the audio recordings. You think it's Tina. She makes allegations against two other people, ANC Chief Whip and the chairperson of the 194 inquiry. And just the way that's handled, I think definitely put the office in disrepute. She's an advocate. So it is not just the Office of the Public Protector. It's also, the fact that she is an advocate. I think it puts the profession in disrepute. The way Advocate Dali Mpofu handled the interview is questionable. I mean, I definitely do not agree with him. The way that they talk to the journos. Everybody is at fault, pointing fingers at the judiciary, at the president. Everybody is at fault. And what we tend to forget is why the Public Protector is there. And like I've said when I started, that she brought the Office of the Public Protector in disrepute even before this interview and these allegations. If you just look at the way she dealt with criminal matters, the way she's dealing with this 194 inquiry. And I would definitely be very ashamed if my legal costs were around 30 million and now I'm crying that I can't afford an attorney. The state attorney that was appointed saying, I don't want this. That is embarrassing.
Stefanie, what do you think could possibly be her motive behind making such allegations? I mean, these are not, these are concerning allegations. They're very serious allegations that implicate a now late MP, another member of parliament, a sitting chairperson of a Section 194 inquiry, allegations around a judiciary that seems to be captured. What do you think could be the motive?
That is, again, the question of is she damaging the Public Protector's office? Do we, that trust relationship that she was supposed to have, with the people of South Africa and the position that she was in, do we sort of necessarily believe what she is saying? Is this, a way of just another way of attacking everybody else and not taking responsibility for some of her own actions? Now, unfortunately, we sit in South Africa where corruption is a disease. Corruption is destroying communities, is destroying, individuals. We have an unemployment rate that is sky high because of, for example, corruption and state capture. So we can never not take allegations like this serious. And this is the type of allegations we need to eradicate. But then you need to put it in the circumstances where we are. And I honestly, this is, just my humble opinion that one has to consider previous actions. One has to consider the way that she has conducted herself and even the way that her husband has conducted himself previously, attacking journalists and so forth, is whether one can believe it. And is the strength of the evidence enough in order to ruin people's careers? But you know what? We've said before that there is allegations and it should be investigated. And that is what the Joint Committee of Ethics and memberships are doing. And hopefully we will learn the truth. Because I have to say, if it is the truth, there must be consequences and people must be held accountable.
Yeah, and that leads very well into my next question. What is going to happen to the Section 194 inquiry? Because in the last sitting that we saw, there were mixed reaction as to whether or not the chairperson should step down. Some saying for the reputation and the integrity of that sitting, he should step down, while saying, listen, there hasn't been any concrete evidence put to the fore. Investigations are still ongoing. It might be a false admission of guilt for him to step down. The work of the Section 194 inquiry should continue. But in your perspective, what should happen? Should he step down? Should the work continue?
It pains me to say that I think he should step down, because I do agree that the evidence against him there are no evidence. I mean, you cannot ruin someone's career, find him guilty of corruption on the word of, he wasn't there himself. It's the word of someone who has passed away in the meantime. So there is just no evidence. But this sort of sounds familiar, and with our history coming through state capture and all of that, without damaging his career, but also upholding the fact that we need to finalize this 194 inquiry. That should we not investigate some of the other senior members who've been there to take over so that we can finalize it, do the investigations, and I'm sure that if he's not guilty, his innocence will be proven. But we are in a situation where this 194 inquiry has been taking too long. I mean, her contract comes to an end in October. This was supposed to be finalized last year. And I think on the question on everybody's lips, wasn't this done in order to derail the 194 inquiry? And that's why I'm saying I think one needs to look at alternatives to safeguard the 194 inquiry, and then also safeguard the people that's implicated with a proper investigation, and that if they are then found guilty or not guilty, that you deal with that when that happens.